Alright, what's the crack? And we're live in the gaff, ready for action. Put that down again. What's the story? Penny is in already. Yeah, more. Northern Rambler, hello. Noel Conway, White Sapphire. Who else have we got here? Get the old boss. Few butters. Can't hear a word. I don't say that. Give us a sound report there, someone. Don't tell me you're gonna have to cancel this and start again. There's problems in Chinatown. Anyone give me a sound report there? Let's see. Sounds okay here. 5 and alright. Level is low. I have no control over that really. I haven't done anything that I wouldn't usually do. Mike Layden. Hello, Mike. Round, do you think you need to turn up your headphones? I need to push that down a little bit, maybe. Yeah, that's where you have the volume. Alright, yeah, I don't know what the crack is there, Round. Anyway, we'll crack on. Tonight we're having a few cans of Tennant's Lager, all the way from Glasgow, Scotland. Same as Well Park Brewery. Noted for high quality lager beers. Yeah, you're not back to the 70s. Sure am. I was a big fan of Tennant's. I used to drink quite an amount of it as a young man, hiding in ditches and fields and so forth, before we were old enough to go to proper pubs. If you have just joined the chat, please do give me a thumbs up. It always helps. One of the things I like to see is more thumbs ups than people watching. That's special. So do hit the old thumbs up button there if you can. How are we all keeping, everyone? Any crack with any of you out there during the week? Anyone doing anything special? I haven't been doing much, as he said in my little video that I the legs on the side of the cans. That's right, Northern Rambler. That's right. It's a nice owl tack. It is. The only thing is, I remember when drinking it, I probably drank it from the age of fucking 12 till the age of 17. And then what they did was, they changed the can. Right? So it used to come in a steel can. And they changed it to an aluminium can. And whatever happened, it tasted shit out of the new can. And I can remember the last time I drank it. And I went into the off license, got the cans, went down to the park, cracked them open. Says, no, that's not the same tack at all. Went back to the off license, and I had a couple of the old cans left at the back of the fridge. Got them, drank them, and that was the last time I drank Tennant's for probably 5 or 6 years. But whatever they've done now, it tastes alright again, so get a few cans now and again for the crack. Diabetic eye test on Tuesday. Jesus. I hope you're alright. That's never good. The proper ring pull, that's right, yeah. I'm a whiskey man myself, says Mike Layden. Well, I'm actually, I like a drop of whiskey myself. I just don't like the price of it, unfortunately. The problem with having a bottle of whiskey in the gaff here is it doesn't last long. So, I like a drop of the old, I like the Green Spot now as a nice whiskey. Or the Redbreast. The Redbreast is very nice, especially the 15-year-old Redbreast if you can stretch to it. You wouldn't want to be drinking it all the time. What else? Gelmanton have knocked out a few nice ones lately as well. That black barrel that they do is quite nice. It's got a great flavour to it. So, yeah. No, we like a drop of whiskey. Mike's a green spot man too. Good man. Andy Doswell's here. Andy Doswell's in the chat. Good man, Andy. I hope you're keeping well, pal. Entertain me. I'm laid up with the man flu. Once it's the man flu and not the big C, you're not so bad. I hope you get better soon, pal. Did I do much bushing as a young lad? Well, I did a bit of... I don't know what you mean by that. It was all about lighting fires and drinking cans. It was a bit of fun. I misspent you. Sick as a dog. Oh no. Whiskey tends to evaporate at those, and that's why it gets the older whiskies are more expensive because what they call is the angel's share. So you have a barrel of whiskey in a barrel, obviously, and it evaporates out through the wooden barrel. But of course, as it does that, it also takes in the flavour of the barrel. But obviously, there's less and less of it, and that's why it's more expensive. So, I did a tour of the Gemmen's factory, distillery, probably 4.5 or 5 years ago now. We did it for a sort of a stag thing. So myself and a few friends, we went on the tour, and then we went for a meal and a few drinks afterwards. It was a nice day out. But they went into great detail about how to make the whiskey and all that. But they showed us the barrels, and so they had some barrels that had perspex windows on them. So you can see, like, a 5-year-old barrel of whiskey, and then a 10 and a 15 and a 20. And the 5-year-old is sort of that much from the top of whiskey. And then the 10, and then the 15, and then the 25-year-old, there's fucking nothing left in it. So that's why it's so expensive. Of course you should take up a drink or two now and again. I knew a fella years ago who had kidney problems, some sort of kidney failure. And his doctor recommended that he go off drinking beer and go on to spirits if he must have a drink. Because the lesser... volume of fluid and so on and forth, which makes sense. I was always generous with the Bushmans. Good man. So yeah, sounds the part. Who else have we got here? We've got 16 people watching just right now at the minute. I hope you're all enjoying it. We want to have a chat with you about the live streams, but I'm going to leave that later on the show if you like. I'll get into some of my thoughts on live streams and the pros and cons of them in a while. So I have the bush. The bush is still sitting on the bench, and it is switched on. As you can hear, we might have a little listen to it if people are agreeable to that. How are you, Ray? How are you? We need to get down and see you too, Ray, but we will, possibly before Christmas. There's a good few people fixing tellies on a Sunday night. There's no fixing tellies here on a Sunday night. Thou shalt not walk over the Sabbath. So the tellies are... In fact, I haven't done much with a television in a while. The last television I done anything with was the 697, the Dynatron, and it's still sitting there. And stuff is piled up on top of it and around it as well, which isn't good. But we'll get back to that one. We could maybe power it up later. We'll see. There'll be a bit of fluting around though before I can get it to go. John Kilk, were you in the chat before, John? I can't remember. One thing you have to remember with me is I'm desperate at remembering names. And, obviously there's a couple of... There's the same few names that pop up every week and in the comments and that. But if you're someone that commented maybe or was in the chat 4 or 5 weeks ago, then... Andy Doswell's 17 TG 100U 8 the lot. Will you see them Philips televisions? I'm in no hurry to have any of them in the shop at all because they all do. I think they're well known for eating their line output transformers. There's a couple of them have come up for sale over the last couple of years here in Ireland. Now they're probably priced a bit steeply, to be fair, but even still, I just avoid them because I know line output transformer. And I know we can get the line output transformer rewound by one or two of the old school that are left around that can do it. But you're into sort of £150 for the privilege. It's a lot of money to be spending on an old set. But Michael Tranfoyle did have the Murphy on the bench last night, and I seen his video. And Michael Tranfoyle's channel has taken off exponentially, and the best of luck to him. He's doing a great job there, new and old. Of course, I have 4 AA23s here. I have the one that I have inside, and it's inside the. No, sorry, it's not. It wasn't the house. It's in the container now. Lovely 20-inch one, which was the second Delta gun television I ever got. We had a good bit of work on it. What it was an ex-rental. So all the panels have been swapped in it and what have you, you know. I think a couple of Duff panels were put into it, but we got it going anyway after a lot of fluting around. I can remember it sat on the bench in John's TV shop for probably 6 months. I can remember I took a day off work and I spent the whole day working on it in the shop. We got it going. And it gives a reasonable picture, but the colour is shit on it. I think the decoder panel needs to be fully realigned. And I've been saying it for years that, you know, I'm going to make up the extension leads and take out the panel and do it, but it's not going to happen. But it works well enough, and it has a half decent tube. It's a 20-inch. It has a Japanese tube, but it's not a Toshiba. It's a Nippon Denso. And it's a decent tube. The other tray I've done that with, so I have another 20-inch with a Verticap tuner in it, and then I've got a 22-inch, and I've got 26-inch as well, which I plugged in here so I don't smoke them out with. I bought it at a reasonable price though. It's in cosmetically very good condition though, so I might dig one of them out. The 26, you know, lately I haven't been that arse doing anything with televisions. You get fed up with them too at times. So, you know, I've been doing a bit with radios and that. They're a bit lighter for lifting on and off the bench too, to be honest. But we'll get back into the TV soon enough. I think if I could get the Dynatron half boxed off, I'd be happy. And I'm half thinking of just leaving the panels out the other one in it for now. Because it's working well enough with them. I'm tidying up the loom and then doing a few bits and pieces. And that'll be about it. Oh, we got it as a gift. Well, Andy, if you do manage to rewind on it, I'll be watching. Because it'd be interesting to see how you get on. Michael Tranfield is here tonight. We have in our presence YouTube royalty, Michael. Thank you for popping in. It's always a pleasure to see you. I hope you're keeping well. So I watched your video last night. You'll have seen that I commented because you replied, but your Murphy is not the only AA23 that's still alive. I was just saying that I've got 4 of them here. The first one I got was the second Delta gun television I ever got. So I have it about, I'm going to say I have it, how long do I have it? What age am I? I have it 17 years. And it's a lovely 20-inch one. I've got 2 of them sitting here. Actually, I'll give you a look for the crack, Michael, because Michael replied to me commenting, he said, I didn't know there was that many around when I said I'd 4 of them. So, Michael, for your pleasure, right, forgive the mess of the place, because it's a kip, and this camera's no use as well. We need to turn on that light. Might help. Let's see, where are we? Yeah. There's 2 of them tucked away there. 20-inch, 22-inch, and way down in that corner, tucked up on its side, is a 26-inch. In very good cosmetic condition. I have the legs for it as well. And you can have a little look. There's the Dynatron. A bit far on. I haven't done that with it since. On the far side then, you will see big 26-inch set. That is an Autovox. The ones that were sold by Curry's, I think it was. And it's sitting on top of another Dynatron, which is too bloody heavy. And that's pretty much an Eddie Stone radio there. Right. And so ends the little tower of the workshop. Turn off these bright lights because it's too bright to have those shining on a summer night like that. So that's it. So yeah, I have 3 of them for them. The Morphy, that Morphy came from one of your viewers for recommissioning. Oh, very good. It's not part of your collection. I must say, I had a cracking picture on it, and the colour was very good. Tell me this, is it a single chip decoder that's in it? All of mine have twin chip decoders, and any of the panels that I have, because I have a few spare panels that I got off a fellow who used to rent them, all twin chip decoders. So I've never seen one with the same chip in it. I also have a little collection of the SL chips as well here. 917 and 9, I can't remember, what was it? You'll tell me anyway, Michael. But I believe the single chip give a better picture. They may have been more popular in Ireland from the sense that, well, we had Bush here. You know, there's a lot of companies that weren't set up in Ireland. So Bush were assembling them here. SL901 and SL918, I think, in the 2 chip. They were assembling them in Shannon Road and Santry in Dublin. So I think that's, and there was a company called Telerents who used to rent, were exclusive Bush rental company. So there was a lot of them kicking around, and I've seen 1 or 2 coming up for sale as well. And they were a reliable enough television, as you know. Like the line output transformer seemed to be bulletproof in them and that. So they didn't, a lot of them soldiered on for a long time. Way past our, you know, the likes of the 3500s and all were long gone the bin, and them 823s were still churning up, even in the early 90s. So they were a good set. So yeah, there was a lot of them here. Like we didn't have, you had Philips here. Philips were in Clonskea, in South Dublin. You Bush and you Pye in Dundrum, all assembling televisions. But you didn't have ITT. You know, you didn't have. There was a lot. You didn't have GEC. There was a lot of crowds you didn't have here. So you Tarn were here as well, and there was a company called Irish TV Rentals. They were exclusively Tarn 3500. Let's see where they're here. So yeah, the Bush were popular, and so was the Valiant, they called it here, which is the A640. There was they turn up still second hand, not so much now. Televisions aren't turning up as like they would have done say 10 years ago, but you'd still see the odd one. And I've loads of. Well, I suppose you could say that if you say is Bush a popular brand in Ireland, the majority of my collection is Bush. Not true. I've never actively gone after this brand or that brand or whatever, but it's just what's available. So I would say 65 to 70% of my television collection is from the Bush stable. That I've gathered in Ireland. Now, I suppose I have to discount, you know, Bush stuff that I've bought at the NBCF or wherever over the years. Not much room to move. No, well, you understand my pain, Michael. Definitely. This is where the service manager comes in and says, John Joe, put the beer down. Here's 7 calls for you to get on with. That's the beauty of being self-employed here, you know. I'm the service manager and I said beer time. I'm just hearing the roof. The rain is on the roof. And we haven't had much rain at all here in the last we haven't really. It rained heavily there maybe 2 weeks ago for a day or two. I suppose the winter's kicking in. I was out and about today doing bits and pieces and mechanically minded stuff, and I just noticed there was a nip in the air. The heat has gone out of the days. Mike Izeki is big on bush radios and tellies. I haven't heard of him. Radio Tech Renewal. I haven't seen you on the chat before. Welcome aboard. Anyone that does come in, please do hit the thumbs up button. It makes me feel, inflates my ego. And the more inflated my ego is, the more hand action you get. Audio Al's mother worked on Bush for a day. Put the resistor in the wrong way of the PCP. Oh dear. So I take it she was in Chanel and Raw, yeah? We're doing well. Most of Andy's collection is GEC and Sobel. Very nice. GEC and Sobel are the same crowd, aren't they? I think GEC bought Sobel out. It's interesting. What was I just looking at today? I was looking at a book I featured here a while ago. It's one I keep coming back to for this and that, and of course it's the late Chaz Miller's book, and there's so much stuff in it. It's very interesting. But another book that I was reading, and it was one that I inherited off John. Of course, I inherited most of his technical books, and The Set Makers, which is a great book for anyone that hasn't read it. I thoroughly recommend trying to get your hands on a copy. Obviously, I think it's out of print now, but I think they come up with the odd BVWS sale and that. They were. Anyone who was into collecting, but it was the book to buy. Yes, indeed. There's a question those popped into my head there, thinking about books and publications and so forth. Is Roger Bunny still alive, who used to do the TV DX column in television? If anyone knows. White Sapphire's collection is made up of all sorts. If it were a dog, it would be a proper mongrel. Great. Well, that's it. Oh, look, I suppose I've never actively... Have I actively gone out to seek a collection for myself? No, I don't think I have. All this shit has found me. I mean, well, all right. I suppose if you go out and you buy something, you could say that. But I suppose I have suffered in the past, and probably still do to a certain extent, of the 3-day wonder. Something nice comes up, and I buy it, and I stick it on the bench or whatever. They get it going, and then something else nice comes along, and so forth. I mean, I think everyone suffers from a bit of that in the collecting thing. Now, not so much anymore, and a couple of things have come up for sale locally in the recent times, and I've just gone, no, I don't need it. And you get to a stage where you have enough, and I certainly have enough. I mean, if I was to put my big boy trousers on and work my way through my collection and put one television on the bench at a time and make a proper job of it, I'll probably have enough work to keep me going here for 5 years. At a reasonable pace, obviously not at a full-time pace, but I'd say 3 evenings a week at 4 hours an evening, you'd have plenty of work. You wouldn't be stuck. And then there's all the radios and other shit as well. You have to know your limitations. That's right, the TV DX column in the television magazine. Mini Metro. Ah, yeah. Where's Vision Wire now? Say his name again. Roger Bunny. Forgetting a name like Roger Bunny. Yeah, no. Absolutely. Oh, such a name. I tell you, it's lashing out fairly strong there. I can hear it on the roof. You find Roger Rabbit. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, no, I used to like reading that. Back in the good old days, a band one. And all you need to do was stick a few foot of wire out the back of your TV, and you could get in the old sporadic ACs and get some nice Spanish television for yourself or whatever. I only ever did TV DXing once. As in went after it, because I thought I had all sort of finished. But then I read somewhere, I think it was probably on the UK Vintage Radio Forum or someone put up, TV DX or whatever. I thought, geez, I must give this a go, So the black and white portable set, and I had this place up in Cavan, County Cavan. A small bit of land and a little house, but it was 800 foot above sea level on the side of a mountain. Not a windy, derelict, bleeding kick. But I was up there one day anyway. It was probably around May or June, and I made up a dipole, 9.5 foot dipole or whatever it is for band was, centre it in the middle of band one, 50 megahertz or 55 megahertz or something like that, and just 2 bits of wire stuck to a wooden batten and another wooden batten, sort of 20 foot up in the air. Stuck it into the back of one of those cheap Korean black and white portables that were everywhere. Clicked on channel 1. Here's Russian television, steaming in. Unbelievable. And it lasted for about half an hour, drifted in and out. Sporadic, up and down. Really, really good, clear picture at times. And then it's like someone flicked the switch. Off it went. Never got on it again. That's at band one Yagi. I don't even think you needed a Yagi though. If it was really, obviously a Yagi would be an advantage. But I think when the sporadic is really strong, the atmosphere is a strange thing. Like I was here, I made a few little videos of for amateur radio people getting into the repeater down in Cork from here. And it was unbelievable the amount of people we were working. And I know a chap up in Scotland, you'll all know, was Trev. He was working the repeater in Cork. So he's up in the middle of Scotland. He's working the repeater in Cork on, 10 watts. And he's 5 and 9. He's crystal clear. So when the sporadic A is going, it's fascinating, It really is amazing how it works. What band was that on, Andy? You see, Michael, you'll have to get your amateur radio license. Well, John, I probably could, but I probably wouldn't. It wouldn't be overly successful. But I mean, I'm sure plenty of TV fellas went for the old liquid lunch, went back on 6 meters. 6 meters is a band I've never done that on now, and that I know a chap here in Dublin, in South Dublin, who's very active on 6. I think 4 and 6 are the only bands that he really works, apart from a bit of chinwag on 2. And he loves 6, he really does, and he's had great results with it. It's on the same frequency, but their input is GB3 and his output. Oh. Yeah, 2 meters is a fascinating band. Now, I only do 2 meter when I do 2 meter. As I say, I have a Diamond X300 collinear which is snapped in half at the minute, so I'm not on the air and haven't been in 6 months or more. So I need to. I was gonna make one of them flower pot areas, but getting out the nano VNA and all that shit, I think I'll just spend a fucking couple of quid and buy one. John Cook asks, what favourite TV to fix? Definitely Bush. Anything Bush I find very handy to work on. After that, probably Thorn. I have a couple of Thorn 3500s here. To G11. I only ever had one G11 that came from my hands years and years and years ago. It didn't last very long. It was completely clapped out though. Michael likes the 1500. Well, that's fair enough, Andy. Yeah, no, just the one G11. Don't see too many of them kicking around now. Although you do see posts on the UK VR for them, looking for CRTs for them. I find that they're coming up a lot now. Because obviously they're clapped out. So you have to go and find yourself an Amstrad 3 and 1 or whatever they were called. Because they were guaranteed to have a good show because they never worked. A 53 or the 75, or the 53 series, it'd be my favourite. Definitely, only because I've done so many of them over the years, and they always work. Line output transformer is generally good to go, and of course you've got your Mullard tube, which is generally okay as well. Once it hasn't got the partial heater cathode or the partially shorted heater. But even with a partially shorted heater, they'll still give a reasonable account for themselves if the tube is up to speed. 1400 or 1500 aren't too bad. I only ever had one 1400 once, and the tube was down to where I had a Mazda airbag in it. The cabinet was a complete write-off. I think it was like 17 or 18. So it went in the bin. I was sorry I didn't keep the line output transformer out, though. I did keep the doubler or tripler out, but I think it was a tripler because it was a 23 inch, if I remember correctly. Fat Tony is in the chat. How are you, Fat Tony? Hope you're keeping well. Do give a thumbs up if you're just on the saying. Mark Smith likes the 70 Sams. Another band I've never dabbled with either, I must admit. Although I do know there is a bit of 77s action around Dublin, and I think there's a 1 or 2 77s repeaters as well working around Dublin now. My only 2 meter rig is the only VHF rig which doesn't have 77s is the Yaesu FT480, which is an antique, obviously. I have dickied around with the idea of buying a modern VHF rig, if not a modern HF rig. I'm kind of liking the idea of this, what you call it, and Trev did a few videos on it. The tiny URDX transceiver. Has anyone got one of those or played with them? Now, I don't think it could be arse putting it together. I think I'll just pay the extra couple of quid and get one made up. But I'm interested to know how good they are from a standpoint. Now, I know Trev has one and he made videos on it and that, but I would be interested to know what people think. You know what I wanted to do actually? I've got a lovely signal generator here. You've got an IC705. Oh, lovely. Yeah. Well, I've got an IC735, which is another antique. What else have I got? BU206. Oh, yeah. Oh, Vision Wire. Yeah. G11s. Don't mind me here, I'm just getting them out so I can read up the chat. Sometimes they come in pretty quick. And I don't see it. There's another thing that I wanted to mention, by the way. while I have you. The chat. I looked back in one of the live streams the other day, and I seen messages come up that I haven't seen, that didn't come up during the live stream. So don't be surprised if you write a message and I don't respond to it, because I don't think that I'm seeing all of the messages coming up, even though I have live chat enabled, not top chat and what have you. But I don't think they're all coming up. So just be aware that I have live chat, but they're not all showing even still. I was seeing messages when I look back that didn't come up at all, and I know they didn't work, So just be aware that I might not see every message that you type in. Where are we? The cap with the rivet, that's the one that that's always mentioned there, right? The cap with the rivet on the G11. If it's a red cap, change it. Punch a hole in the neck of the tube, which is a bad day out. FT817 for portable, isn't that the one the VK3YE has as well? Which apparently is sandproof, which is good. It makes very interesting videos. I must say, I'm enjoying them few cans of Tennent's. They're quite nice. I should have got 8 instead of 4, but then I'll be on the floor. That's like a little rhyme, isn't it? I hope everyone's still hearing me okay. What we need to do is we need to get some acoustic foam in the shed. FT817. It's hard to think that the FT817 is 21 years old. Yeah, I can remember when they came out. I can remember being at a show down in Carrick-on-Shannon or somewhere, wherever amateur radio group that was. I can't remember. I was only a little fella, but I can remember seeing one of those on a table, brand new, one of the dealers, with a very big price tag on it. Or the tube neck issue, the start of that, yeah. Yeah, the 705 looks the business alright. I haven't done anything with amateur radio in a long time. I must get back into it. Well, I want to get that JRC up on the air, so I'll get stuck into that one of these days. I'll set it up. I had hoped to build a separate amateur radio / radio shed, but it's not going to happen now this year. We'll leave it till the spring. But it'd be good just to have a separate kind of thing. Where I can have, a couple of different rigs set up and switches, to have the aerials switched and what have you. Have it all set up. There just isn't the space in here for it. I have a little corner dedicated here, but it's not ideal. So yeah, I think it'd be best to have it separated. Then all the dust and shit out of metal televisions and all. It's not ideal. I bought. Right, here's a question for you. A couple of amateur radio people in here, obviously. Who has seen the latest Practical Wireless magazine? Just let me know if you have. Because I have only bought 1 or 2 Practical Wireless magazines in my life, because John used to have a subscription. So he used to give me his to look at when he'd be finished with them. And Andy, I have, because it was in Eason's, which is a famous Irish book selling shop. I don't think they have them in the UK. But I was just looking through the magazine rack, and I see in Practical Wireless, and I said, fucking I'll buy that, I'd say euro or whatever, but fucking I haven't seen one since John passed away, and that's nearly a year ago now. So there was a couple of interesting articles in it, but there was one in particular, and it made no sense to me. And you know when you read something, and you go, this makes no sense. What is this? It was a do-it-yourself construction kind of a thing, right? To make a jig for soldering wires. Now, I'll be going into the house in a few minutes anyway, so I'll get it, and I'll let you see the article or whatever. I'll see a picture of the thing. It was a device for a jig for soldering wires together. So what it was like 2 blocks, and your man went into great detail about this. To my mind, and I think you'll agree with me when you see it, it was the most pointless fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. It was 2 blocks of timber, another 2 blocks of timber. The blocks shaped like this and this. And you had this big aluminium frame, and you pushed the thing in, and it tied the wires together, held the wires together, and then you soldered them. And your man says, because you don't want to twiddle the wires together because you lose length. I was reading this and I was going, is this fella for fucking real? When I go into the house, I'll bring the magazine out and I'll show it to you. Maybe I'm missing the point. Okay? And if I am, that's fair enough. But to me, it just looked ridiculous. And I was always told, if you are soldering wires together, you twiddle them together first, make a good mechanical connection, and then bang your solder in. So, but maybe I'm missing something. Might as well be called practical radio, amateur radio now. Well, that's yeah, it is. It's not geared to the likes of you, Michael. That would have been buying it years ago because you don't have a license. But no, well, now without like knocking it too much, because there's very few publications of that ilk left. Okay, and fair enough, they're trying to do something with an ever diminishing market and the internet and da. So I'm not gonna turn this into I hate practical. I don't. Right? Don't get me wrong. I think fair play to them for keeping the thing going and whatever, because the advertisement revenue and all the bits and pieces have to be getting thinner and thinner and thinner, and less. So it can't be easy either to produce a magazine in the year 2022, but because like it has turned into a bit of a Martin Lynch and Son advertisement magazine, but even they have a YouTube channel now with a hell of a lot more subscribers than me, so they don't need practical words anymore either. So the future's bleak, but I'll show you the thing anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. That'd be a fair thing to say. Northern Rambler, yeah. Eason's will be W.H. Smith. Yeah. And they're probably tied in together somewhere along the way. Let's see. The missus just bought me a mini sample of the M&S Christmas pudding with cream. It's too early to be talking about Christmas. Way out that lad. You're bad. In a fit of insanity, I bought September's Practical Electronics and came out August 1st. On the back was an ad for the Peak ESR meter. Yeah. With money off. Offer expires 31st of July. Not wonderful. According to Wikipedia, there are some decent stores in the UK. And there are WH Smiths in Ireland. There are WH Smiths in Ireland, yes, that is true. There's one in Dublin Airport, and you get through the check-in, security, in the like the duty-free shit is. There's a WH Smith in there. Maybe they're desperate for content. Yeah, they could be. I don't know. It's like, maybe I'm missing the point, and I'll bring the thing out and I'll show it to you. Now, and I can't show you the whole article now because it probably, whoever owns Practical Words will probably shoot me in the face. But I'll show you a picture of the device, and you can tell me what you think. Maybe I'm missing the point. But look, we take our hats off to them all the same. They're doing their best. There is a very interesting article actually on the Eddystone EC10 Mark II. However, the one thing that he doesn't mention is the amount of drift out of the bastards. They all drift terribly. They didn't pay you for an article you wrote in the 90s despite promises for practical wireless for television. Michael Dranfield, he used to write for television magazine. Maybe you could write an article for practical wireless. They've been doing articles Valve and Vintage lately, and I remember reading on the UK Vintage Radio Forum that they were going to start doing a series of articles on restoring a Bush DAC 90 or one of them. Now, for us, that sort of stuff is going to be a bit boring because we've all seen Bush DAC 90s and whatever. And then there was a whole thing that came up in the UK Vintage Radio Forum. Should they be showing someone how to work in an AC/DC set and da. Fuck, I don't know. But so where do you start and where do you stop? I hate the J8 Mark Smith, but there's reasons for that. You tend to publish on their own website. You do, Andy. And by the way, I should say, for anyone watching and what have you, please do go and check out Andy Doswell's website. It's very interesting and well put together. So it's well worth a look on all things vintage and electronic. Does anybody remember Derwent TV? I've heard the name alright, but obviously I wouldn't remember them. Blatant plug. Now, here's the thing, Andy. I was reading an article there. I don't know, where did this come up? How did I say this? But plug. Where did the word plug come from, Andy? I want you to go and find that out. There's your little homework for a minute or two. You find out where the word plug came into broadcasting. I'm trying to think where I came across it myself, but I was reading all about this in the last day or two on the phone. You know the way articles and things come up. It's nothing to do with carpenters. I'll tell you what you do. I'm going into the house, and when I'm in there, I'm going to get me copy of Practical Wireless, and you can tell me what I'm missing with this jig that this fellow's after coming up with. And when I come back, Andy, you're going to tell us where plug comes from. The only thing I'll say is plug is spelled wrong. Alright? And the chap whose name it is, you see, I'm after giving half of the way already, so it's named after someone, said that his name should be pronounced Pluge. Or something like that. Right, go off and find that out. I'll be back in a minute. Now, it's starting to turn into a bit of a rotten night out there now. However, not to worry. What have I got to off? Hold on, what have you been at? Here now. Let's down to the last 10 cans. Right, let's see. Plug. Where does plug come from? Alright. Where did I find this now? In the depths of my phone the other night. And you go down Mr. Google Road, right? Here's where plug comes from. Oh no, it's true, alright. No, it's very true. Which AV are you talking about? Plug was Captain Leonard Frank Plug, was a British radio entrepreneur and Conservative Party politician. Alright? He was a big on the scene in the 60s and 70s and what have you. But he created the International Broadcasting Company in 1931 as a rival to the British Broadcasting Corporation, right? So he started up commercial radio, basically. So it's Plugge, Plugge, yeah. And he was renting transmitters in France and what have you before the war broke out. But he was on a holiday in France, and he came across. He actually used to go on motor car tours of Europe, and he used to buy all the radio program material, like the radio times for the different countries and what have you, and he would sell them to the BBC. I don't know. Anyway, he went to visit this town somewhere in France, and he came a small town, and the man said that there's a transmitter in a small, like a forge or somewhere. There's a small radio shop, and he said that they had announced the name of the local cobblers on the air whilst playing some music, and that the cobblers' business went up 80% or something. So he got the brainwave of play music and then tell people about businesses for money. But they said that an ad was to plug something, so that's where it comes from, right? Okay. So there's you can look him up. His daughter actually died in very tragic circumstances as well. If you go on Wikipedia, you can look him up. And you'll end up going down a whole rabbit hole thing like I did at 4 o'clock one morning the other night. Interesting nonetheless. Leonard Plug. Captain Leonard Plug. Now, the device, it really is a blatant plug. It's plug, yeah, right? Let's get back to this. Practical wireless, right? Tell me I'm missing something. I'm gonna follow up this. I can't show the whole article because it's a practical wireless. You're going to be unfriendly with me if I do. Basically, you all see that? You put a wire in here and a wire in here, and you press this thing down. you solder the two wires together, right? Now, I was always told if you were soldering, and this is a great invention. It's going to save time and making looms and stuff. I was always told if you're soldering two wires together, you twiddle them, you wrap one around the other, then you solder. I really, really can't see the point in that device. And you know when you're looking at something, so I read the whole article. I looked at all the pictures, so I suppose I can show you the pictures. I don't think Practical Word is going to sue me anyway. Sorry, it's backwards on my monitor. So this is it. You make this up. This bit of timber is a bit of an angle to the other timber, so you know, and then you make up this and you press that in, and then he's showing you. He has twiddled this wire together, but he says in the article that you shouldn't twiddle the wire together as such because you lose length on the joint. But if that was the case, surely you cut the insulation further back. I actually read it 3 or 4 times the other night. I was reading it in the bed. And Mrs. Algen was sitting beside me. She says, "You're reading that?" I said, "I can't fucking understand this. I'm missing something." And I gave it to her. She's fairly good. She's an electrical engineer by trade. Or was at one time. So she read the article and she was the same, scratching her head. I'm missing something, but I don't know what I'm missing. There's somebody's going to come along and tell me what the... It's looking for a solution to a problem that doesn't exist. It's shite. Golden rule of soldering, as White Sapphire's grandfather told her, I'm sure, is you make a good mechanical connection first, then you solder it up. That's the way I was taught by John. I was a little fan. Yeah. What? I don't know. I'm still scratching my head. Someone's going to come along and they're going to say, "John, you're missing the fucking point here. This is, this makes life much easier." Like, the idea of doing all that and folding up that sheet of aluminium and all and pop riveting it and doing all that just so you can solder 2 bits of wire together. And your man says, "This is great. It's made it so easy." And he says, it acts as a heat sink as well, so it doesn't melt the insulation. I'm no, fuck off, right? So I don't know when the next Practical Worders magazine is going to be. I'm not knocking Practical Worders magazine. There's actually a very good article in here about building an analog display digital VFO, and he's using an ESP32 Arduino thing and an SI 5315 clock counting chip, and he's got this lovely display, and it looks really good. And again, copyright and all that. I can't show you the whole article, but I'll just show you the picture that he has of his VFC display all made up, and you can buy all the bits and pieces very cheap. You probably do for a store. That was good actually. I was thinking about that. But really, I suppose it's just a news magazine now for amateur radio groups and that, and what's going on. But the jig thing, someone's going to watch this later and tell me what I'm missing. What else is in it? Computer in the shack. No. Practical World's 2 meter QRP contest results. Fair enough. Priests on the air. Interesting. Boot camps. There's an 11-year-old lad here who's just completed his CW license, which is good. And there is an interesting article on antennas and propagation, but not much that I wasn't aware of already. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's see. Use a blob of blue tack. Cheap, fits everything, wires resistant. I used to use blue tack when I was a little kid, because I wasn't allowed to solder on. Got a solder when I was just 7 or 8. Burnt the arm off myself. Long story. Good clean fun. Mike Layden, anyone know anything about Lucius and Bayer industrial monitors? Early 90s, I'd say. You haven't tinkered with TVs and monitors much. Sava Freeburg, 3 on my bench, and it's running grand. That sounds like a radio of some description. I used to use plastic ankle boyer, but it's usually when it warms up. Imagine everyone who needs such a device already has a helping hand. Crocodile clip thing. Well, that's what I was thinking, Jerry. Or you'd have a small bench voice or something. I don't know. From soldering 2 wires together. Was that badly stuck? I don't know. I might use one of the little G clamps here or something, but yeah. And he also did something very interesting with an 807. Andy, what you do is bang up the old. You didn't have a holder for the 807. Oh dear. Then you get hot. Then you get hot with just the heater running. Never mind any anode current. Yeah, bang up an old circuit diagram there for us. Wonderful, wonderful. You know, I've often said it here. You know, the medium wave band is becoming less populated every day. Although there's still plenty to listen to, which we can turn on that and we can show you. But as it does so, I think act now and apologise later is my motto when it comes to that sort of thing. No, that's empty. It's tragic. Ugh. Spilling beer into my little keyboard there isn't good. I'll let it spray, clean it out. You know, there is a reason why you don't drink in workshops and laboratories and so forth. And it's not about poisoning yourself, despite what they tell you. It's more about you might damage their expensive equipment. That's better. Crisis averted. But no, I'm certainly into the bit of free radio for sure. Definitely. The piano's been drinking, not me, you know. Sure, look. We've done more. Sure, look, Andy, if they can't take a joke, you know. I remember, I've got quite a few issues of practical electronics here. Hobby electronics, not so much. I might have 1 or 2 of those floating around. Oh, the Maplin magazine. Yeah, I seen one or two of them. They were pretty good, actually. It was taken as a joke. You know, that's it. I mean, if these people can't take a joke, you know. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's terrible when people have no sense of humour. And, you know, the problem is there's more and more out there. People have no sense of humour at all. You have to look at the fun side of all this, right? Well, there's one or two of us here that are making a living out of this, although less and less. I mean, most of us are only here for a bit of crack. And that's all it's about. You get your own entertainment out of this, and if you can do that, what more do you want? Electronics Today International. Yeah, I have one or two of them as well. John Cooke says he's Irish, so he has a brilliant sense of humour. There's plenty of Irish people who have no sense of humour, I can tell you that for sure. Don't take life too seriously, you'll never get out of it alive, that's right. That is very true. Do I remember the TV and radio shopping room contract? Can't say I do. Don't even remember any of them, apart from the one I used to be in myself. Because I never really paid them much attention at the time, and then of course they vanished. There was some great magazines years ago, like that. They're all gone now. There's so little left now. Interesting. Right, I'm going to bring this up now. There's 25 people watching with 20 likes, which isn't enough. So there's 24 people watching with someone got a pain in their arse. The live streams going forward. So there's a group of us here who obviously enjoy the live streams, myself being included. I actually do get a bit of crack out of these. Obviously, they're not easy. They're not easy. They're a piece of piss to do for me, because I sit here and we have a chat, and it's interactive, and it's quite handy, and I don't have to put much thought into it. It's not repaired and something or whatever, and the bits and pieces go into that. This is just me sitting here, and I could be talking about anything, or but we generally try to keep it on topic, and I must say that everyone in the chat, everyone watching, does that very well. Nobody brings politics or bollocksology into the chat, which is good, and that's what I expect. So I want to thank you all for that. But the live streams, I think, in the channel might be causing a bit of a problem, because I've noticed that the live streams are actually making me lose subscribers when I look at the live stream statistics. So I don't know. Now there's two things. I have two frames of mind on this. One, if someone doesn't want to watch the live streams, that's fair enough. And obviously, if you're not watching the live stream live, they're not as entertaining because you can't be interactive, and that's what makes it good. But I think if I've got subscribers that are that delicate, that when a live stream video pops up, that they feel they need to unsubscribe instead of just going, you know what, I'm not interested in that, I'm not going to watch it. Probably don't want them watching me in the first place. But the second thing is, it's sort of a little bit askew from, the main channel thing, which is doing videos on shit. So I don't know whether to set up a separate channel called, Irish Vintage TV Live or some shit like that, and just do the live streams there on a Sunday, Like our friend on the Isle of Man does. He is, Big Clive says that because he wants to keep the thing separate from his day-to-day videos, which is fair enough. So I'm not sure what to do, and views on this would be welcome. As I say, I've lost 3 or 4 subscribers per live video over the last couple of weeks. Now, as I say, I mean, if they're not delicate that they can't just skip past the live video, you know, to the next video that I make or whatever. Now, no, I haven't made that many videos lately due to shit, but you know, I mean, you know, overall. But I don't know. Could we do a poll or something? I wonder. Look at this. Create a poll. It says. See, I'm learning all the time with this. It's technology. Let me see. Of course, another thing I could do, of course, is just delete every live video, live chat video afterwards. Although, you know, they're not much value to anyone watching after the fact, I suppose. So let me just read your comments first. Why not do Zoom or Teams chat on the lives? No, I'm not getting into that. I know how this works, and that's good enough for me. So, no, I'm going to stick with the YouTube thing. It's going to be YouTube solely. I'm not getting into Teams or any of that. Teams reminds me too much of work for a start. No, it's going to be YouTube or nothing. I'll just say that going forward anyway. Oh, he's afraid he's chatting on my get banned, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, Chipmunk. Second channel would be a very good idea, but you have to be selective. Second channel should be exclusively live only or are. No, don't delete the streams. It helps though if you can activate the chat replay on the streams. Yeah, the chat replay is activated or whatever. Like you can watch the chat replay or like yeah, that's okay. Let's make a poll. I'm not gonna, don't be offended if the poll goes one way and my decision in the end goes the other, because that's how it kind of works. But fuck's sake, I don't want Microsoft News right now. Let me click. Right, we're gonna do a poll. So we're getting into all this chat. Let me put this keyboard out here. Empty cans down there. The typing isn't too wonderful here. Right. There has in the chat been put a poll. Please vote accordingly. B4L 40 times is in the chat. If the YouTube channel is hacked or shut down or whatever, look, if it disappeared tomorrow, I wouldn't lose too much sleep over it, obviously. I really wouldn't. But we'll see. I don't know, 80%. We'll tell you what, we'll let this run for a minute or two, alright? Because we don't know. I mean, someone could be in the jacks, alright? I don't know about setting up another channel either. It sounds like a lot of fucking effort. But coughed twice for yes, says Mr. Dranfield. Well, we won't argue with Mr. Dranfield either, of course. There's 21 votes. There's 25 people watching. Someone's not pushing the button. Okay? That means someone's watching, but they're in the jacks or they're doing something naughty with the missus. Andy Doswell, thank you for joining us. And we'll catch you again in the next one, whenever which will be. Man, 23 votes. Man, 3 more people need to vote. Chipmunk has pushed the button. Alright, we have it. Everyone has voted. Wonderful. Thank you all very much for voting. We've got 77% for set up another live. That was a bit of crack, actually. Thank you all. Northern Rambler, well done for subscribing to Andy Doswell's YouTube channel. Everyone else should do the same. If you can. Just click on Andy's little name or whatever, and it'll take you to his channel and whatnot. Okay. Right. There's a bit to take in there, right? There's a few things, and we're interested in being honest and open here, so I'll discuss my thought process with you. All right. Let's see. I'm just wondering why this computer has frozen here. Where's he gone? Oh, you should still be here. Have I gone somewhere? Please do someone respond in the chat. Have I gone somewhere? As far as I'm concerned, I'm still alive. Oh, I'm still alive, alright. Nope, I'm still here. Good. Alright, now, okay. Still here. Grand. Okay. Mike has joined the late. That's quite possible. Very well. Right. Thought process on starting up a new channel. Pros. Boxed in together. I like things to be in that little box. That would be good. Cons. Monetization. Which, you know, I'm not going to sit here in front of you and say that money doesn't matter, and I don't care about money. Obviously, every little penny helps. Like, B4L there is after putting across 99 pence. 99 pence keeps me hot in my shed for 3 hours. There's 28 cents a unit for electricity, right? So, I'm not going to say that doesn't matter. It does matter, and it helps. Okay. So that's a big thing, and I'll need to get 1,000 subscribers on my live channel before I can go down that road again. Whereas I already have that here. So that's a thing. Watch time minutes and all that kind of stuff, I suppose. And there's a whole load of different things involved as well. But I don't know. We'll certainly think about it. I don't know what's easiest to do. As I say, with running the lives in this channel now as it is, I mean, I think, you know, if a live video pops up in your feed and you don't like watching them, say you like watching Aldrods because he has a television on the bench, you only watch those videos, well then just don't watch the other videos, you know. Thank you very much, Fat Tony. Fat Tony is after keeping me hot here for 6 hours. Right? So on Monday, it's I was just looking at the electricity bill here today, and currently, although it's due to go up again at the end of October, it's 28 cents a unit for electricity, which is fucking ridiculous. Jesus Christ. Thanks very much, Northern Rambler. So there you are. I'm hot now for every evening for the next week in the shed. But this isn't, by the way, don't get me wrong. This isn't a begging thing or whatever. Don't think I'm gonna go down that road. I'm not. I'm not saying though, if I set up a separate live stream channel, it's something I have to take into account. Because I don't think I'm gonna get 42 cents, and that's the discount rate. Fuck that, Jerry. It's disgraceful. You know, a 1 kilowatt heater. So say you have a 2 kilowatt electric heater in your house. That's going to be 80 cents an hour to keep yourself warm. That's wrong, isn't it? To keep one room warm in your house if you're on electricity. If you've got night storage heaters, it doesn't even bear thinking about. This is the thing though, they expect people to just freeze in their gaff. But you should feel good about it. Standard rate now is 52. Jesus, I thought I was being doing bad. Thanks very much, Chipmunk. I appreciate that. But as I say, don't get this into a thing. I'm not. This isn't a begging thing or whatever. I'm just telling you my thought process with setting up a new channel for the lives that, you know, I won't be able to get on now for a while. Not that I don't want a lot either. If we could get the hobby thing to break even at the moment, right? And, you know, honesty and disclosure. So I monetized the channel shortly after I got 1,000 subscribers, and I had the watch time minutes. You need to have 1,000 subscribers and 240,000 watch time minutes in the last 12 months, right? So I passed that, no problem, the watch time minutes and the 1,000 subscribers. So we've been monetized since March last year, and on average, I'll get my phone out, I can look, because we have an app on the phone that tells us all this. There's a YouTube studio app. Anyone that makes videos on YouTube will be aware of this. Revenue, let's see. Okay, so I can look at the last 6 months gone. So April, I got €20. May, I got €24. June, I got €27. July, I got €30. And August, I got €31. And so far for September, I've got €31, which is, so September is going to be a good one. But as you can see, okay, it's not life-changing sums of money, but it's sort of, I don't feel so bad about coming out here and turning on the blow heater for an hour or two, because I know at least it sort of balances itself out. Thank you very much to everyone who was after showing their support in that way for me. I appreciate that a lot. I really, really do. So thank you. Because I know it's not easy for people. I love a big peat fire. So do I. Although lately I've just been burning bits of timber that I've been getting out of skips and that. I wasn't charging you anything, and we kept complaining, and they refused to resolve it. So I would have kept my mouth shut, to be honest with you, Dennis. After the scratch board, okay, Retro Tech renewal. We will see you in another one. Oh no, sorry. Well, after to get a scratch card. Oh, sorry. I thought you said you were off to your scratcher to go into bed. You're off to get a scratch card in the hope to pay. No. That's not the answer to your problems. They're paying you for a reporting, and well, I mean, say if you can't get up and read it, the most ridiculous thing with the power bills in the UK is the standing charge. Well, we have that here too. We have the very same thing here too, where the transport museum that I'm involved with now, it's cheaper for them to, well, it doesn't cost them anything to leave heat on all the time because the standing charges are so high. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, funny enough, we have been. Audio Al has the briquettes on the fire. Lovely stuff. So that's where we're at. So that's my thought process on the live channel thing anyway. But we might give it a go. We'll see. As I say though, people are that delicate. I think that's why people keep saying to people, watch my channel. So obviously some people will just watch my channel because they want to watch vintage radios. And other people would just watch the channel because they want to see vintage television. I'm actually turning the heat on here now. It's starting to get a bit nippy. I don't feel so bad now. And other people, people have their reasons for watching. Obviously, I do a wide variety of shit here. So it's not all going to tie in with everyone's interests. I keep saying to people, like, if I'm making a video that you're not interested in, don't watch it. And yet, when, say, I was doing the DX radio videos or whatever, which is something I'm interested in, I'm going to cover it on my channel, I will. I was getting loads of thumbs down because people who just want to see TV videos don't want to watch DX radio videos. Like, why do people go on like that? I watch YouTubers and some of them do stuff I don't like. I just don't watch the videos. I don't thumbs down them or whatever. Now, by the way, that doesn't make any real difference to me because if you watch the video, whether it's thumbs down or thumbs up, it doesn't really matter. YouTube take the thumbs down, the thumbs up metric as the same for some reason. You can hear the heater on. You probably can hear it. I'm only going to turn it on for a minute. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Exactly. It's still an engagement. Anyway, speaking of radio, as I have her sitting here on, it's been sitting here on for the last couple of hours, so it should be stable by now. I've been getting me, 50 watts of heat off it. We're on band 2 here, which is 9 meg to 14 meg. This one actually has, sadly enough, the dial glass must have been in a shed. The radio must have been in a shed where someone was using an angle grinder because the dial glass is all rough. So I've got lumps now. I don't know if anyone's ever used an angle grinder near glass. The damage that it does. Some bastard uses it outside the front of our house, and there's all little black marks where the molten metal melts into the glass. Anyway, let's have a squint around. I'm expecting a lot of QRM here from various power supplies and shit.
Et un consensus de la communauté internationale lors de l'été.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Japan. Romanian rowers walked away with
Romania Radio International.
from as far as I know, we'll be with you for the next 2 months.
You know,
Can we stay there?
that's Brother Stair, if anyone has ever heard of him. And Brother Stair has been dead now for 18 months. He is the most broadcasted voice in radio history because he had this, evangelical commune or whatever, and with all the money, he just paid all these shortwave broadcasters to broadcast his programs. And he's everywhere. And he's still around, even though he's dead.
A political science instructor at a university.
Yeah, that's enough of that. Let's try medium wave.
Jimmy Shandrew.
I guess that means you.
Oh.
And paper records. Los deportes, Victoria de...
I don't know what that is, but it's single sideband at the top of medium wave band. What's that? Tell you what, we'll get the R600 up just to see if we can figure out what that is. Top of it. What are you on here on this now? Dutch Pirate, alright. There's a bit of top band CW action you don't hear too often. I don't know where that CW or that SSB is. It must be Breakthrough from one of the amateur radio bands. Anyway, swiftly moving on. AM stereo transmissions on Ireland. Not that I'm aware of, no. John Cook says just around the shops. Yeah, perhaps. Never heard of it. Myself. A multi-coupler, Dennis. What's that? Oh, could have been, yeah. 1677, yeah. Oh, yeah, Dennis, yeah. I know what you're talking about, yeah. Let's try 1677 again here, yeah. Well, we've got a Dutch pirate on 1670. That's what it is. Well done. Cross country, are they in American Cloud? Anyway, Northern Rambler was bang on. Oh, very good. Must look into that. That's the backup here, yeah, the old Bush. Only does 50 watts though. What I need is a Philips G6. Funny enough, it comes in better on this than it does that. But this doesn't have a cloud detector. Now, as always, I'll leave you with the musical stylings of Radio China International while I go into the house. I will return shortly.
A teraz zapraszamy Państwa do wysłuchania legendy o zakochanych motylach. Kompozycja została wykonana na innym tradycyjnym instrumencie płóczym. Płóczym to instrument sierpany przypominający cytrę. Gra na płóczym może zaprezentować uczucia ludzkie, takie jak na przykład szczęście, gniew, smutek i radości.
Let's see where I am here. Huge phase. He needs a fridge in the workshop. Well, the only thing about having a fridge in the workshop is the latent heat. So it's not as expensive as one might think. I like to do that with the bottles of Guinness. The bottles of Guinness in the summer I put or in the winter. I just leave them outside the back door and they're just a nice cool. Guinness wouldn't sponsor me, you fucking mad. Well, it is Northern Rambler with regard to the electricity thing. I mean, people are going to think, are they going to run their old Torn 3500, or they're going to use a a flat screen more efficient television set. It's great gear though. Nowhere to put the fridge, Michael. That is exactly the problem. That is the problem. Although one of those small ones with the little Peltier units in it, they kick out one nice bit of heat. We'll fit one of them in here maybe somewhat, perhaps. I don't want a fridge in the shed. That'd be a disaster. That's the end of that. What is the name of that instrument place? Like an auto park. It's like the Chinese version of Deliverance. I love listening to that. I used to have the R600 hooked up to the hi-fi and I'd tune it in and have a blast on here. It's great stuff. So of course, and Michael Dranfield commented on the little video I made during the week on the Listen Shortwave 3. Now, I actually put a post about this on the UK Vintage Radio Forum, but so far there's been nothing but tumbleweed. We do like to have plenty of light in the workshop. John always told me you need to have plenty of light when you're working, so I took his advice. I'll end up with bad squinty eyes like him. The old Listen Shortwave 3, of course missing its triode valves. Not much to it. This is the on off and wave change. Switch. I haven't checked the intervalve transformer yet if it's any good or not. Apparently it covers 1 to 20 megahertz. And of course being a regen TRF, we should even maybe possibly decode a bit of SSB on it. So I'm on the lookout for some B4 triodes at the Goblin. I think that'd be an interesting set to get running. If anyone has any information on that Listen Allwave 3, please do let me know. Isn't there an English service version? There is. There's English, Dutch, German, French, Russian. I should be able to pick up the valves for yeah, the triodes are triode B4 valves are still fairly. What's the valve line up? The official valve line up, I'm gonna have to look up to you. Alright, so give me a second. I was looking at this the other week, I forget now. It's an all-wave 3, or shortwave 3, should I say. It's called the Band Spread Shortwave 3 kit. Model 8120. Okay. So I suppose I got that a bit wrong for the start. Anyway, the valves are 2 K30Cs, and the output is a K30G. And I looked them up, and they're equivalent to Mullard PM2As, and then I don't know what the output would be, 2B or something. But I think any of them will work in any of the. I think a PM2A will work with a TP, where a PM2B will. I think they're all interchangeable. They'll just tri-out valves. But that's what they are anyway. So they're 2-volt directly heating tri-outs. I'd like to get it going. There's feck all in it. There's feck all in it. So I think we could get it going handy enough. It needs to be straightened out a bit. It got a bit bent in the skip and went into it, what have you. But it's an interesting kit receiver. It says on Radio Museum, if you look it up, if you wish. What does it say? It says, no matter how little you know about radio, you can build this yourself. 2 hours after you open the carton, you can be listening to shortwave programs from American stations and many other countries besides. It incorporates 3-valve circuit with listen band spread tuning and new listen dual range coil. Price $69 and 6 months, complete with valves. 1930 splash. So, you know, it's on for 100 years old. I think it's worth saving. That's exactly what they do, Dennis. But they do make nice music. I think, you know, until you actually turn on the radio, you forget how instrumental radio is in some parts of the world, politically. Even still. And even tonight. I mean, I don't know, I'm sick of reading posts on the UK Vintage Radio Forum about how there's nothing to listen to on medium wave. But, like, there was just a post there the other day about someone who had a 5-transistor pocket radio who went up to the Lake District or somewhere, and there was nothing to listen to. Well, there must be something wrong with his radio, because you're all the way out in the middle of nowhere in the Lake District. I can guarantee you're going to hear loads of stuff on medium wave. I'll click here to medium wave for a second. This is medium wave here with me. Station after station, as you can hear. All the way from one end of the scale to the other.
No.
Just show you £3.10 and 6 months. I didn't see any link you sent, Dennis. No, there is a thing that blocks links, but generally I get to see them. We probably have bought you a farm in 1929. Yeah. Not even a halfpence. Well, all the money back then for the kit, you had to build it yourself. They don't sing. It's instrumental, Tony. You see. Oh, you could have bought loads of those radios with Sapphire. I don't even want to tell me what this is off. Martin there. It's 549-3. It's a nice little air ram, isn't it? Don't know what that's off. I was thinking it might be off a bus door mechanism or something like that. But it looks too well made for something that'd be on a bus. It's not aircraft, I don't think, and I'll tell you why. Anything aircraft related I've seen is usually the nuts are tied up with tying wire, which this doesn't have. I don't think it's off an airplane. So I'm not sure what it's off. Gone. 10 o'clock, they're off. Now, can't listen to too much of that. I have noticed there's a lot of rock stations popping up on Shortwave lately. A lot of rock music. What was the one I was listening to yesterday? I'm trying to think here. I was listening to a station yesterday from Canada. What was it? That's going to do my head in now. I'm not going to be able to remember. Hold on, I might be able to find out. Nope. Yeah, here's one for you. Radio Pop Shop. Anyone heard of them? I came across them yesterday, transmitting via the German channel 292 shortwave transmitter. Excellent selection of music, really class. Bands like Hawkwind sounded like shortwave anyway. What was this? Hawkwind, I actually quite like Hawkwind. I remember Lemmy describing Hawkwind as like Star Trek on speed, which I thought was quite apt, you know. Gotta sell a machine. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Yeah. Good night, Retro Tech. Renewal. What antenna do I have? You're in Clare. Mini whip. There's plenty of action on medium. You're doing well with your mini whip, so okay. You're in Clare. So you're on the west coast. What I've heard said about the west coast is that it's far enough away to get full sky, the skip at night on medium wave. I've heard it said that in the old days when Caroline were on air and that reception was shit in like on the east coast, Dublin, Wicklow, Loud, what have you. But when you went out to the west coast, that the reception was excellent because they were in the full skip range. So that could be part of it too. But I'm glad to hear your mini whip is working for you. I have about 150 foot of wire on the receive area in here, and it's backwards and forwards in sort of an S shape. I drew out a picture of this a while ago. I might still have the picture here, but I won't have to redraw it. But yeah, I do actually. So here we have Mike. This is me in my little shed here, right? Dancing around, and the area goes up, and it goes over to this pole, back on itself, and over it again in an S. So it's about 50 foot, but you're getting about a bit 150 foot of wire in the air. So that's what I have here, and a good earth, and the earth is essential. A good RF ground is worth twice as much as a long wire area. Is the pirate NRG around anymore? I'm told that he's on 1440 now, but I haven't heard him lately. I heard he had to move off 1395 due to nighttime QRM from Dutch pirates. Perhaps more on that later. Not tonight, down the road. Interesting stuff. Funny enough, I have the heater on there for half an hour and I'm not feeling too warm yet, although it's just gone up to about 22 degrees there on the little clock in the workshop. In the summer it's too warm, in the winter it's too cold, even though I have it insulated to a certain extent. Although it should be a little bit warmer this winter because I have that window blocked. So it shouldn't be too bad. Earth is important, it absolutely is, and people overlook it an awful lot. I'm just reading comments here. I remember seeing Hawkwind in the early 70s when their female singer was famous for being naked during the performance. Yeah, she was a big tall. Now, I didn't see her live, but I remember I watched a documentary on Hawkwind, and I think it was on like BBC 4 or something years ago. And she was this big tall board, 6 foot something, gorgeous looking, all the right curves and all the right place, big fucking tits. And she used to fucking dance around and sing, totally in the nip. Wonderful. You wouldn't, like, if you talk about, today being a liberal, you wouldn't get away with that shit today in certain, things are the same but different. It's fucking wonderful, Poor old Lemmy was a gas character too. I was kind of liked him. Of course, he's dead a couple of years now. I think he got cancer or something in the end. He started out as a rodeo for Jimi Hendrix, which is, yeah, that's what I reckon it was. The East Coast wasn't the dead zone for the skip. For the record, I'm a big Hawkwind fan too. Good man, Jerry. Blokey, thanks for popping in. We'll see you in another one at some stage. Saw Motorhead in UCD, the only gig where the audience ran away from the stage when they started. Class. It is indeed, Jerry, or Seamus. This is my own BS35 here that I'm listening to. You seen it in action here some time ago. We just did a rewire on Farmer Ham's house. Very sad. Chap died alone. Never good. The earthing system was incredible. 12 rods spaced for the garden. Lovely. I God love them. It's sad when you see that, and of course, 9 times out of 10, before anyone with a bit of knowledge gets there, some arsehole has put all the stuff in the bin. Mary Whitehouse did some damage. I've mixed feelings on Mary Whitehouse and her movement and what have you. Yeah, she got a bit carried away with bollocksology, but I think to a certain extent she may have had a point with some of the stuff. But I think then she completely lost the fucking run of herself. But I think her initial idea and whatever, I think I don't think she was coming from a bad place either. Perhaps misguided. But some of the stuff that the BBC were putting out in the mid 60s probably was a bit questionable and what have you. I don't know. Mixed feeling, but yeah, some of the stuff she got upset about was fucking off the wall too. But I think she had good intentions. Good man, Rowney Mooney has a decent ground there system in place. That's good to know that the stuff was said. No, that's the same one. It's the same one. It's back up on the bench. No, that's the one that was bastardised at some stage. I still haven't got around to sort that out. It doesn't sound as good as yours though. Mooney says these were standard 4-foot rods, so your system's probably lower than Payton's again. A 10-foot rod sounds good, alright. Some of the stuff the BBC was getting up to behind the camera back then was questionable too. Yes, it fucking was. And it makes you look back on reflection and think maybe Mary Whitehouse was right about some of the shit she was going on about. Fucking some bastards in there too, alright. Yeah. Well, there was stuff like that, which was a bit silly, alright. The Monty Python saying, boom. Yeah. They banned the heads of mice. That's right. You need good thick wire. The skin, the skin of wire effect. That's right. Yes, something that people forget about too. Benny Hill. I'd only do Benny Hill on small doses now, to be quite honest with you. One chap that I never got into. He was on ITV actually as well. Yeah, he wasn't on the BBC, I don't think. Although he had a tragic end too. I mean, he became a total recluse. He made millions and millions back then. And he wouldn't spend a penny. He was brought up poor, and he was, brought up with the make their own men kind of mentality. Wouldn't spend a penny. Had millions, and he used to, get his jumpers darned and all this kind of shit. He wouldn't even go out and buy clothes for himself or anything. And in the end, they found him dead, sitting in front of the television. And I reckon he was sitting there on his own for maybe a week or more. The television still playing. Sad ending. Yeah, I remember that interview was on YouTube, Rowney Mooney. I've seen that. It's rather interesting to watch, actually. John Lydon threw Jimmy Savile under the bus in 19. It's a pity he didn't throw him under a fucking route master. Benny Hill began the BBC. Oh, did he? All right. Markham and Wise, yeah. more. The ITA had more disposable income, of course. All them ads for personal and whatnot. And poor Frankie Howard, yeah. Frankie Howard. Peggy got poached as well. Interesting, alright. I think the league's one that heater off now. 23 degrees. It's like Spain. Won't be saying that next month. Bastard will be going non-stop. I might be curtailing my output in the shed this winter. Depending on YouTube taggings. There was great comedy in the 60s and 70s. I absolutely agree with that. For example, Steptoe Son, Open All Hours, Porridge, love Porridge. Then you have the likes of the Sweeney. I love watching the Sweeney. Wondering here why my little red light isn't on. Usually on. Plug him in there for speed. Feel a bit better when he's on. I don't know why. I've become accustomed to it. Parkinson did rounds of BBC Yorkshire, LWT, Time Same among others. You got around alright. The Prisoner, not prison, not yeah. Yeah, that's right. He didn't like doing them carry-on films at all. Well, Roundy, are you going to get to the Goblin, by the way? We want to know. We want to know now. Kenneth was a very troubled man, but he was a very intelligent man too. I think he was just into the sciences, if I remember correctly. I think Freddie started troubles with accusations and stuff as well, if I remember correctly. They do indeed. Intelligent and troubled often go hand in hand. That is very true. That's because we're too smart to fucking know the difference. There's an awful lot to be said for being stupid. No, the carry-on films. And a lot of them are shit. I wouldn't be a massive fan of the carry-on films at all. They were just spat out. Show you around you. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, that's a shame. I hope everything works out for you either way. Not ideal. So do you want 4 candles or 4 candles? Oh, I love that one. Spring 23, hopefully so, Roundy. Yes, indeed. Warmer UK has come into the chat with a fairly one for you, JJ, on the buses. Yeah, no, I watched all them, alright. I got sick of watching the end. It reminded me too much of my Yellow Employed. Bonzo Dog. Oh yeah, one of my favorite song of them was the Urban Spaceman. I'm the Urban Spaceman. Oh yeah, wonderful song. It reminded me of a fellow I used to work with, who was fond of speed in the 70s. Neil Innes, that's right. The video to the song was very good as well, actually. Very good. Mike Layden's concerned if my Evo is working. I have one Mark III, but coil movement is not linear. Full scale deflection is off. Plenty dud resistors and germanium diodes dead. Resistors don't usually go bad. They're wire wound. Can be replaced. Normal ones. This one's perfect. Yeah, I use this one all the time. And then there's another one sitting here at an unusual angle. These are both Mark V's. This one I got off a chap on the at the MVCF through the UK Vintage Radio Forum in 2016, I think. And I've been using it ever since. Very good meter. That one I was given recently. And I have a Mark III, which I was also given just the other week. I don't know where that's bloody gone to. Where's the Mark III gone to? Oh, here it is. It's down the other side of me. I have a Mark III here, which was given just the other week, which is a bit sick. It's reading low on all ranges, so we need to get into that. But the Mark III was probably the best of a lot of them, to be honest. But they're much about muchness. I do remember that Michael Dranfield told me that he doesn't own an Evo meter, which is rather tragic. We'll have to rectify that, Michael. I think you need an Evo meter for sure. Yes, there is. What's this he calls himself on the forum? Well, actually, there's two of them. There's two experts, I would say, on the UK Vintage Radio Forum on Avos. Obviously, one more expert than the other, perhaps. An Avo 43 for £2 in an auction, you're doing well. Mark 4. Don't buy the Avo leads because they're shit. Because they're too heavy. I have a few sets here. I think of 2 sets here. They're so heavy and cumbersome. They're no use. Just buy an ordinary set of leads. What was this chap's name? PM Monroe. That will be the expert on Avos. PM Monroe, or the other chap is the Philpott. They seem to be very hot on the Avo threads on the forum. And Synwave is another, or Sinewave, I should say, sorry, is another big collector of Avos as well. So there's probably 3 of them. But yeah, PM Monroe is probably your expert when it comes to your Avo meters. Yeah, buy an ordinary set of leads. What I do is with the Avos, well, what I have here, actually, what I use of my Avo meters, and of course, and after Mark 3, you'll be able to use these with, is Hirschman leads, right? And then you can buy all the adapters. So this here is a little grippers. I know that the camera won't focus, I'm sorry, but you get the idea. That's what they're like. These are I think they're 1.5 meter length, maybe. And you can buy a set of these, or let's do this. You can buy a full set for probably 30 quid. You know, the red lead, the black lead, the clips, they do probes that clip on the end, and alligator clips and whatever. And they're banana jacks. And they're very, very good leads, I must say. So that's what I would use with an Avo meter. The genuine Avo lead, so here's one here. They came at one of the meters it was given. And, you know, I mean, they're like bloody jump leads for starting a bus. They're ridiculous things. They're no use, really. To be quite honest. Although the leads are generally worth more than the meters these days. It's fucking silly. Just give me a second to catch up with the chat. Someone gave Michael Dranfield one a few years ago, but it's not for you. Ah, come on, Michael. How could you? Look. How could you say no to a little smiley face like that? Look, hello. I want to be your friend, Michael. I'll help you fix televisions. Come on, you know. I think they're good. They don't slide around on the bench for one thing. To be honest, I didn't always think they were good. It's only it's probably only when I got that one that I sort of got into them, because I did think that the whole 2 knob thing was a bit of an arse, you know. And I have an Avo 10, which is a rather rare machine. It was made for export to like Australian places, which was 1 knob, and I used that for years. But because it's such a rare machine, I didn't like using it in the end, and then I got this. But you soon get used to them. I like the big scale too, to be honest. I've too many multimeters, if I'm quite honest. Are the 567 kilohertz towers still up, John Joe? They're the ones that were in Tullamore. I don't know. I know the one that was in Athlone, one of the towers was taken down, and there's 1 tower remaining. So there was like a Marconi T between 2 big tall towers. They took 1 tower down. 1 tower is left standing, and there's the telecommunications shit on that tower. I don't know about the Tullamore one. The mega leads for 80 quid are absolute shite. Good night, audio Al. Thanks for popping in. No, I find that them Hertzman ones are excellent. Absolutely excellent blades. Nice and flexible, and you can all the different fittings that come with them, and they're top quality shit. Absolutely. George Donaldson prefers his fluke. Well, I prefer my fluke too, George. My super ultra sexy fucking fluke. The old 28 Mark II. Throw it off the edge of a cliff. She still works. It floats. They do float. They're waterproof. IPX4 or whatever the fuck. That's the gold standard right there. We're never too far away from Mr. Fluke. So we've two Fluke. What are these? 12E pluses. And an old scale Fluke 29 here. There's more yellow stuff around as well. The 83 Mark III is over there somewhere. And then we've loads of Fluke. We like Fluke. It works. It does what it says in the 10. And there's an awful lot to be said for that. That's quite correct, Chipmunk. It is reference to not 808 though, 20k ohm to the volt. So, you know, your GEC selected test or whatever is used there too. The one on your back wall is more my style. See, you like that Japanese owl. Dross. An eagle. I actually bought this at the MVCF, but it wasn't the investment that I thought it would be. Although it was at the right price. Because the meter balance is way off. Michael will know what I mean by that, by saying, you know, look at the needle that way, and look at the needle this way, and look at the needle that way. Now, a properly balanced meter movement shouldn't really move off zero a whole lot between there and there. So, she's by you. It's had an awful smack on the ground or something at some stage. But it's an electronic meter. It's a 100k to the ohm volt. It was cheap, so we won't fall out with it too much. 70 Mark III is that's obviously an Evo, yeah. That's what the Micronta, I think, is what Michael Dranfield has, if I'm not mistaken. You have a couple of GPO test meters here too. They are good meters. Let's see where the bill on. There's the job there, made by GEC in Salford, I think. Very nice little meters. And they work. They do what they say on the tin as well, like the Evo. Not all the bells and whistles of the Evo. You know, the Evos do AC current and stuff like that. You should have an Avon Mini, but you haven't seen it in a while. Well, they're small, so they get lost. I have the big brother that... that's right, yeah. The one with the two knobs. Good man, George. Never an easy thing to do. Dry joints can be a pain in the hole, alright. Alright, another poll coming up now. I want you to answer, right? So, create a poll. Ask a question. Get wireless keyboard. I must say, the old wireless keyboard and mouse is a bit of a gift. Please answer the poll which has come up in the chat. The old mouse as well, Roundy. No poll, yeah. Something is wrong. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Go away. Right. Oh, why won't that work? We'll try that again. Doo-doo-doo. Let's try this once more. Obviously, YouTube doesn't want to cooperate with me either time. Doo-doo-doo. A poll has been created, I think. Poll is going. Please answer poll. Do-do-do-do-do. 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 There we go. I know, midlife Charlie. Give me some credit around you. We're getting the hang of this, you know. The crackle's here. Well done. Up the poll. You don't work for the ESP, do you, Roundy? I went for a job in the ESP a couple of times and they wouldn't have me. You shower of bastards. I quite like the idea of driving those Unimogs up across the mountain. But no, not for me. It's amazing what people throw out, alright, no, absolutely. %81% of people reckon they can keep our lit. Let's see, how many people have voted though? 16 out of 27 people have voted. More people need to vote. Voting is free. There is no charge for voting. Betting ends. Okay. Alright. I'll be back in a few minutes, so take our handy, boys. Oh, music, of course. What we have to do, though, is find music without copyright, you know? Which isn't easy.
Listen. And then
L'agression.
Keeper of the anima science. And there be fed by
I'll leave you with that, lads. Back in a second.
每个人都在开心，时光会教你。
往前经过，回开始，离开 要去买几个火腿肠，补补肺。原产可好好补肺，让可3年好好补肺。补肺丸补强肺功能，贴合肺里干啥都给力。咨询电话400-110-110，400-110-110，只要购买就一不看药师指导下购买和使用。
Right, how we are getting on, everyone? What's that for? Is feeding her cats. I'm not afraid of heights either. It doesn't matter whether you fall from 20 foot or 1,000 foot. It still has the same result, more or less. Somebody has said that the ESB wouldn't have me. Nah, well, they wouldn't. I'm having a little drink here. I can't tell you what it is because I'd be arrested if I did. That fucking tastes wrong. what I can tell you about it is there's a song wrote about it where it says, there's a neat little still at the foot of the hill where something boys goes by with a whiff and a smell. You can plainly tell that something boys goes by. Oh yeah, there's a neat. This is how it goes. There's a neat little still at the foot of the hill where the smoke curls up to the sky. With a whiff and a smell, you can plainly tell that there's something boys goes by. And someone has added cherry flavour to this, and I've put it into a drop of soda water. So no gin. And it has that sort of a taste of it where you go, that's fucking wrong. But Jesus, I could drink more of that. It's I think that's the only glass I'm going to have up tonight. When that's gone, I'll be getting to bed. I'll stay away from the Ford 2000 tonight. Because it's Lennon tears. It's not from a local distillery. It's not. It's from a distillery up near the border. It's not the fall at all. It's the sudden stop. That's right, Mr. Mooney. That's right, Mr. Mooney. That sudden stop is a killer. Drop of the Mountain Dew. So does it taste wrong until your taste buds are comatose? I don't know. I don't know why to describe that. That's an unusual sensation. So we'll kill the worms and you could. Smart meal. Swap the tenants for spirit and saving the heating bill. No. Mr. Dranfield knows the crack. Just a quick question for you, Michael. Feel free not to answer if you wish, but because this could be considered intellectual property or commercially sensitive. But on average, how many televisions would you get in for a pair per week? Stop asking questions, Sapphire. I can't give you an answer. I don't want to lie to you. By the way, little spanners and oddball tools I like to collect. And here I have one in my pocket, which was in the shed from earlier. But this usually lives in my toolbox. I get quite a kick out of working with fellas. And of course, most lads have, snap-on tools and the best of gear, very modern, expensive. Snap-on tool chests this height, Tang tool chests. This set of spanners here was 800 quid and all this kind of bollocks. But I like to do it the other way around, where I have shit tools. Well, I wouldn't say shit tools. No, that's wrong. I have good tools that are old. And cantilever toolboxes and things that lads wouldn't even entertain these days. But one of the things that I like, old tools that are still useful. And one of them I picked up lately is this little machine here. I got this about this time last year. This was found in a bucket full of rusty scrap in an old man's shed whose house was being cleared out. And this was totally seized and rotten. You see this? Little adjustable wrench. This is so handy. It's unbelievable. And it's quite special. There's a YouTube video on one of these by some fella. It's made by a crowd called Tent in Sheffield, right? And this was a wartime made wrench. And we know that because there was a block on steel being made during the war any thicker than 3/8 of an inch sheet. So they couldn't make the steel to press this out. So it's actually made out of a couple of sheets of steel pressed together. And if you look closely, you can see the lines in it. There's 1, 2, 3 lines. So there's 4 separate pieces of steel that were pressed together. And you can actually see where they were pressed, a little sort of river holes or whatever. If I hold it to the light in a certain way, you can see the little divots of the holes. it just grips things lovely. It's got a lovely action. This was totally rusted together mess, and I freed it out with a blow lamp and cleaned it up on a wire wheel, took it all apart, and I use that nearly every day. But these lads with their snap-on tool chest cost thousands. Still come to me to borrow that at times. Brownie Mooney is of the same opinion as myself, yes. I see what you mean, Michael, yeah. Yeah. Well, I was just looking there, what a video that popped up actually after I watched yours this morning or yesterday evening was some chap in the UK who does reviews on technology or whatever, and he was after buying a smart TV in Aldi for, I think it was £289 or something fucking ridiculous. A 55-inch television. So, I mean, there's no competing with that. That's just ridiculous. I wouldn't. I have a smart television in the house. I don't know what size it is. 42-inch or whatever. It's in the bedroom, mounted on the wall. Mrs. Oddchance is watching me live on it now. But I mean, if it goes, we have it 4 years. If it goes wrong tomorrow and a load of smoke and shit comes out, or it dust doesn't come on or whatever, I don't think I'd even take the back off it, to be honest. I might take it back off it and make a video of shit TVs. But I mean, if you get 4 years out with television that costs 300 quid, yeah, I mean, you're doing alright. It was a different game, and you're torn 3,500, cost 6 months' wages or whatever. But the goods gone out. And the 3-year warranty from Aldi. Yeah, so if it goes bang in 3 years. So maybe you seen that video yourself, did you? I mean, they're not bad either. The picture's good on them and that for what they are. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Dave O'Toole, what's the story? What's the story, Dave? I haven't seen you in the chat before either. Welcome aboard. Maybe you have been. As I said, as I often say, I'm not great with names. So you could have been in here a couple of months ago or whatever. But welcome aboard. I just not just tool rest. I see these tool restoration channels on YouTube. O'Connor Brothers Tipperary Town, mattress, beds, furniture, paint. Mike, AI8IF. You're gonna have to tell me why you're telling me Mike AI8IF. I have a 50-inch plasma television with 18-year-old. Cost me $1,000. Came with a hardback manual. If it ever does, I'll fix it because it deserves to live. Still used daily. The fucking price of that. I remember them early. Some of them early plasmas were burning about 400 watts. They keep you nice and warm. Fair play to you, Roundy. I like the sound of it. I remember them coming into the TV shop, alright. Plasmas were good. They were good. The only thing was the screen themselves used to get noisy. I remember there was a few of them in the local pub we used to go to. And the screens, I don't know, the gas wears out or something. But they go intrinsically noisy in themselves. They also suffer from icon burn. Oh no, they produce some fierce RF, alright. Yeah, you don't see too many plasma televisions around now. Definitely a thing of the past. How long did plasma hang around for? Probably, was it 8 years or so that they were making plasma televisions? LCD soon took them over. I mean, they're power hungry fuckers, but the picture was. I remember we used to get the odd. Does anyone remember the very first plasma televisions from Philips? That also had the media box with them, as in the video driver or whatever. With a big, huge umbilical cord that went up into the set itself. So I'd say Michael Dranfield remembers them. I mean, you're going back 20 years. Must have been 2002 or 3 that they came out. They had good pictures on them when they worked. Philips Matchline. I remember. I don't know. They probably were called a Matchline. I remember the Matchline CRT sets. Alright, they were the top of the range. The rectifier diodes and the power supply are handy enough. Yeah, they were heavy enough, alright. They certainly were. You turned all the voltage. Yeah, that probably did help a lot. They were very hot. There was some amount of heat used to come out of them early plasmas, alright. 42-inch Pioneer with media box, only a couple of. Jesus, how old was that? I haven't seen one of the televisions that had the media box with the umbilical cord in a long, long time. Must be 15 years. Oh, yeah, it has a fan on it as well, yeah. Yeah, there's something you don't see on flat screen TVs anymore either, a fan in the back. That was a common enough thing too, to have a fan or two. That sounds like a nice fine chipmunk, yeah. Very good. It's amazing what you can get, alright. Fan go noisy, better to let them overheat. Yeah. I remember a few years ago, I'm going back nearly 10 years ago, I got a load of NEC monitors, 42-inch monitors off a chipper, who had them for displaying the price of the, chips and burgers or whatever. They were obviously too expensive to run or whatever, but I had 5 of them, and they gave me them to take away, but they were so well made. They were great. I actually regret not keeping one of them. I think I only managed to sell one of them or maybe 2 of them, dumped the rest. Yeah, no, they were mad heat, alright, Northern Rambler. No, you can't wall mount a plasma in a modern house. Wouldn't take the way. No way. Put his nose on the television. You have an old Samsung with a round grill on the back. It probably was designed to have a fan, then they didn't bother. Well, probably what they did is they stuck it together, ran over there with a fan. It didn't break down the first 10 hours and it doesn't need a fan. Yeah, dot and dab walls, yeah. Plasters are right, fellas are right. Yeah, hot they do get very, very hot, Dennis, yeah. I can tell you. You think the one on Michael's video gets hot? Michael, tell them how hot the Thorn 3500 gets inside. Or even better or worse. The likes of a G6 or something like that. G6 is 425 watts, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'd love to get my hands on one of them though. 500 watts? No way. Oh, there you go. I thought 425, 500. Certainly keep you warm anyway, that's for sure. You have a Drake L7 now, George. That's a fine machine there. Didn't think you were into any of that old school shit. The cats used to like the heat of the G6s, yeah. You have to run them with the back off in the summer, yeah, no, they're unbelievable. You know, a G6 cabinet come up for sale here on adverts a while ago. Tragic. Beautiful looking television. G6, a single standard G6. But have been turned into a drinks cabinet. And I messaged the seller and asked them, did they still have the insides of the television, you know? And they said, no, they had done those. Fucking arseholes. Oh yeah, the cat hair killed the TVs alright. Cat hair, kids thinking that the slots were like a piggy bank, putting coins in. And other stuff. Jeez, you used to find all sorts of stuff in the back of TVs. Like our friend in North County Cork, that's right. I don't see him coming up too much in the adverts this weather, but I suppose he's still at his fucking silly nonsense. Yeah, they'd throw out a bit of heat, alright. I'd say Northern Rambler, absolutely. Right, lads, I'm going to wrap it up now in the next couple of minutes, just here aware. It's starting to get a bit late here. I doubt he has packed it in because there's arseholes that'll buy shit. You just look at people turning their little friends here into lamps and stuff like that. Scandalous what people think is a good idea. And funny enough, you say that he's packed it in, and I don't know, maybe he has, but I'm seeing a lot of them. A lot of them are turning up now where they're doing radiogram cabinets as drinks cabinets. You're probably seeing that, Roundy, where they take the record deck out. Well, what they do is they go onto adverts or one of these, and they buy a radiogram cheap, and they take the record player section out. They plug it in. It works because they all work to an extent, minus grid coupling caps and stuff. They paint them all mad colours and they put a lot of empty bottles in it, and then they advertise it as a drinks cabinet for X amount of money. It's fucking disgraceful. He's gone quiet, but I hope he's gone bleeding quiet. I hope he's got the head blown off himself. Yeah. Well, at least they were unopened. Thank you, Noel. Jam sandwich into the VCR, yeah. A bottle of medicine in because the parents told them it was sick. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, there's loads of them stories though, isn't there? No, steampunk, I think it's died off a little bit. Maybe all them arseholes are after getting a little bit older and having kids and stuff and settling down, but the damage can never be undone, that's true. What? They buy 70s and 80s toys, split the toys up and sell the toy for inflated amounts as working but missing battery cover. Then sell the cover for an obscene amount. Fuck off. Why CT203? Probably something I would have here, Seamus. You could email that to me, Seamus, and I'll tell you for sure. The number of 150 candlestick phones are got turned into bloody table lamps, yeah. The worst is a well-known antique shop in Hungerford that does it all the time. Refuse to sell a complete unit to anyone. Arseholes. 10 valve radio is mostly complete in Wexford for 6. I've seen that ad for 10 valve radios in. Yeah, but they're all in shit. Used to like some of the videos that got stuck inside the players that came in for red faces when I told the customer your tape's not damaged. I watched it just to make sure it was all right. Yeah. I remember there was one VCR player that came into Tomo years ago, and from a local prominent GP. And the GP came in, and Tomo says, "Oh yes, I have your VCR is playing in the back now." "Oh great, can I see it?" "Yeah." Says, and just as they went through the door that walks up, he says, "Oh yes, your tape is okay too. It's playing away in the player." And of course, it was filthy fucking shit, you know, absolute muck. Which it's my son's VCR player. Oh, great. Weren't they wonderful days all the same? Gone, but never forgotten. Our VCR destroyed our rental tape. Previous renter had spilled orange juice on the cassette. Instantly, the video rental place tried to blame us for the... Yeah. He has a fucking website. No face update since July. Fingers crossed. He run out of steam. It's like the fella that was doing the. I don't know if you've ever seen it around you. I did a video here a couple of years ago on a small Pi radio, which had been completely bastardized to shit by one of these. And there was a little sticker on the back of the website and all, where you too could get your radio completely bastardized. But, they run out of steam eventually. Because these things aren't reliable for a start. These modern Bluetooth units, I have a few here or whatever, but I don't think I'd do it commercially for anyone because I wouldn't trust them to keep working long enough. Right, lads, I'm going in. It's been an interesting evening with you all, and I want to thank you all for your opinions and your comments and your financial support. And I will catch you again the next one soon, whenever that will be. Let's aim for next Sunday. With regards to starting up a new channel for lawyers, I don't know, I've mentioned my reasons for and against, so, it's not going to happen between now and next Sunday anyway, so it'll be normal service as usual, but we'll see how it goes into the future. It's great having you all here on the Sunday for the chat. It's a bit of crack, and hopefully, whatever I decide to do with it going into the future, hopefully it garners a bit more traction. So thank you all, and I'll see you again in the next one. Thanks very much. Good night for now. Take care.